chime in on this whole Charlie Kirk situation, and this is a an addendum to my Facebook post that I made, and this is for all of my fellow black people in the United States. I'm here in Nigeria on vacation, and it's really been bothering me. So here is my take on the Charlie Kirk situation and my advice for black folks. Stay the fuck out of it. Just shut up. Most of us don't even know who Charlie Kirk is. I never knew who he was, and I'm gonna be quite frank, I'm not interested in knowing who he is. His life has zero relevance to me. His death has zero relevance to me. So I'm not going to comment on Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk is irrelevant to me. Now, I want to really make sure that we all understand the importance of discretion in times like these and keeping a level head and being strategic and not being emotional. Everybody has an opinion about, oh, he said racist stuff about black folks. Well, guess what, everybody? If you black, they talk about us all the time anyway at their kitchen table. So why are you acting like you don't know that white folks do this stuff? They do this. They've been doing this stuff. He said out loud what they always say. That's why they like him so much, because he embodies a lot of their hidden, unspoken biases, and that's the way that it is. My grandmother told me, Mary Beatrice Reed, God rest her soul. She told me when I was a young kid, and I'll never forget this. She said, always assume that every white person is racist until they give you reason to believe otherwise. So I don't understand what this outrage is amongst black folks and commenting on this gentleman's life and his death, when I'm gonna just tell you, when I walk into a room full of white folks, I already assume that they have the mindset of Charlie Kirk. And most of you work for people who have the mindset of Charlie Kirk. Most of you are in positions under people, with people who listen to Fox News, they watch Fox News, and the ideology that Charlie Kirk personified is one that they align with, and it means a lot to them, right? It meant a lot to them in the 1960s. It meant a lot to them in the 1940s. There is nothing new under the sun. So all of this back and forth about Charlie Kirk, it's not, just stop doing it. What we should do is be more productive and strategic. Okay. Now, number one, from a practical perspective, okay, you have, most of you are not financially secure. So if you get on social media and you start saying all this flippant stuff about Charlie Kirk, or you go and you are just being intentionally combative because you're in your feelings, which I understand that you're in your feelings, and I get it because I listened to a lot of the stuff that he said, and it is alarming if you've never heard someone speak so blatantly about black folks. But here is the thing. He spoke his mind, and good, bad, or indifferent, he was extremely effective at mobilizing the white conservative movement, particularly amongst young white kids in the Midwest, in the South. So there's a ton of enthusiasm, and there was a lot of enthusiasm that was building about his ability to uh, positively move the progressive, the conservative agenda forward amongst the younger voting bloc, which is going to eventually be the voting bloc that controls a lot of what's happening. But all of that being said, remember that your HR manager probably browses Facebook on their lunch break. You get that? If you are unemployed or underemployed, especially same thing. You looking for a job, you are in a position and you're trying to change, you're trying to get a new job. It's already difficult as it is to get a job. It's extremely competitive with AI. You get a job, then you got to fight to keep the job. You have enough to deal with right now in your day-to-day life. You don't need to be adding anything else. So, from a financial perspective, if you are not financially secure in your life, if you don't have the savings, you don't have multiple streams of income, you just need to shut the fuck up, because most of you can't afford to lose your job. And good, bad, or indifferent, you are putting yourself in a position where you might lose your job. Now, is it fair? No, it's not fair, but it is what it is. You got to move according to how you have to move in order to get to the result that you're trying to get to. And you're not going to get there if you're worried about how you're going to pay your bills. So be wise, okay? And with this whole Charlie Kirk thing, just stay out of it. And from just a common sense perspective, ain't nobody listening. Ain't nobody gives a fuck about what you're saying except for the people who feel the same way that you feel. Charlie Kirk supporters, the Republican base, they don't care about what you're saying. Everything you're saying is basically in an echo chamber, right? It's people that share the same views as you. So going on Fox News, uh, message boards, and making your opinion known, it's not going to change what these people think. They're going to feel what they feel. It is what that is. Certain ideologies are so deeply embedded in people to the point where they can't see what they can't see. You get what I'm saying? This is why some people will intentionally misunderstand you. They don't even try to understand a different perspective, because some of it is a cognitive thing going on. People have a lot of cognitive biases. A lot of people are easily manipulated. I'm not going to get into the whole psychology of it, but the point that I'm trying to make is when there's no point in going back and forth with people who have a different opinion, because you're not going to change their opinion. They are going to be who they're going to be. Now, only the main point I'm trying to get to here is we need to channel this energy that all this energy we're putting into making Facebook videos about Charlie Kirk and how racist he was and all this kind of thing. We need to channel that energy. It's called transmutation. Y'all might want to Google that term. Transmutation is the process of channeling energy in a in context of in the context I'm speaking, is channeling energy to be more productive. When you think about people who have substance abuse issues, that is a form of energy. All emotions that we have in this life, be it love, be it hate, be it fear, be it sexual desire, all of those are expressions of energy. And most people will take the very initial response and they'll run with it. But that is oftentimes the wrong response. The first response, the first thing you do is an impulsive thing. And you might look back at that 5 years from now and say, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I probably should have done it this way. So, what I recommend you do, those of you who are just really frustrated with everything, channel that energy into organizing in your churches, in your mosque, amongst your sororities, your fraternities, in your communities, bringing us together like they have the Turning Point USA, which is what was founded by Charlie Kirk. We need to have something like that. They just got $1 million donation from a prominent conservative philanthropist. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember the lady's name, but she gave them $1 million contribution so that they could expand Turning Point USA across the United States. You see, so all this back and forth on social media, it doesn't make a fucking difference. It doesn't matter. What we need to do is transmutate that energy and create things, create a movement where going forward, we'll never have to worry about another Donald Trump getting in office, because the reason why we're in this position with everything that's going on right now is because 25% of black men voted for Donald Trump. A large majority, I would say the majority of white men and white women, they voted for Donald Trump. Hispanics, a large percentage of them voted for Donald Trump. The Democratic Party, when they were in office, they could have done more to prevent a lot of this stuff from happening. But what they wanted to do as Democrats is they wanted to play by the rules, and they were trying to work across the aisles, and they were extremely passive in their approach to getting things done. And the result is Republicans got into positions of power and they threw the rule book out. They threw the whole rule book out, or they changed the rules of the game in the middle of the game to benefit them. Democrats didn't do that. They could have done that, but they didn't do that. So as a result of that passivity, we're in the position that we're in right now. Y'all understand that? This didn't just happen out of nowhere. So what we have to make sure we're doing is being strategic in how we move. You don't have to jump on the bandwagon of Charlie Kirk bashing just because he was, quote unquote, a racist, which he was. But guess what? It is. I mean, like I said, I assume most white folks are racist. Now, on the same token, there are many people who are white, and they are some of the best people to have as allies in this conversation about race relations and white supremacy. There are some white people that will stand for the sake, because it's the right thing to do, and they see the stuff that we're seeing and they know that it's wrong, and they're standing with us regardless of race. It's about principle. It's not about Democrat or Republican. It's principle. It's just certain stuff that shouldn't happen, period. Has nothing to do with if you're a Democrat or you're Republican. It's just basic human decency, right? Civility. Being able to have a discussion with someone without it turning into this nasty descent into the gutter kind of thing, right? And when you have a commander-in-chief who doesn't set any type of an example, what do you expect? But again, That says more about the voting populace than it does about Donald Trump, because Donald Trump has always been who Donald Trump has always been. He ain't hid nothing about himself. He's been that. His entire career has been in the public eye. There was nothing about Donald Trump that Donald Trump is showing us now that is a surprise to those of us who didn't vote for him. I'm not surprised at all, which is why I tried to we tried to push people, but now this is where we are. Okay. So, main point, I'm in Nigeria, everybody. I'm about to get ready to go to the gym, but I just felt I wanted to make this just to make sure that you all don't get carried away with this Charlie Kirk, because in 5 years, 6 years, none of this shit is gonna matter. And I'm gonna tell you, if you take my advice, mobilize in your communities, in your churches, get your ass up and vote. Many of you didn't take it seriously when you were told. You listening to Rick and Smiley morning show. You following Cardi B around. You're following Beyonce around, but you didn't get your ass up and vote. You didn't take it seriously. Now this is where we are. So mobilize, channel that energy, black folks, into creating a movement, okay, where going forward, when we do put Democrats in positions, okay, those are going to be Democrats that do not take our votes for granted, and that they will be every bit as vicious as these Republicans are. Because you see, they don't play by the rules, they throw the rule book out. So guess what? If they the rules only work if everybody's playing by what? The same rules. It don't there's no, if only one group is playing by the rules, then what, you might as well not even just throw the shit out and you do what they're doing, because what they're doing has been very effective. So this video is way too long, but I just want to make sure I have the number one, I have the responsibility to say something, because I have like 15,000 followers. We have a large base of a large community that we built at the Black Wolf Company that consists of black folks all over the United States. So I have a responsibility to make sure that I am speaking some reasonable sense into the minds of our people, so that we don't get carried away and get distracted. Because while we're distracted by Charlie Kirk, 51 Republican senators voted against releasing the Epstein files. Now, see, this is a prime example of what happens when you're channeling your energy inefficiently into the wrong things. Stuff happens right in front of you and you don't even know. But by the time you figure out what's happened, you're going to be so damn shocked. 51 Republican senators blocked the release of the Epstein files. Now, they're rallying behind Kirk. I can't even remember the boy's name. The Kirk guy. They're rallying behind him. And they're upset and all of this. And I get that. Because that was their guy. And he said what they all think. And he thinks the way they think. So that's what it is. But here's the deal. Nobody is putting that same energy into the Epstein files. Nobody's thinking about all of these underage kids that were trafficked. How about we take that Kirk energy and put that same amount of energy into trying to figure out these Epstein files, who's in the files, because clearly they're blocking it for a reason. You don't block stuff for no reason. You blocking it because you're trying to prevent something from coming out, right? That's just common sense. You don't have to be that intelligent to know that, right? What's the problem then? Donald Trump ran on this whole thing. He pushed this on his ticket. Epstein files. Now it's all this bullshit. The same thing he said with his tax return. He still had put his tax returns out. You see what I'm saying? But see, no, they don't care about that. They care about the Kirk thing. So you see what I'm saying? When you don't channel your energy into the right thing, the stuff that needs to really have focus gets no focus. So while they're ignoring the Epstein files, that's getting brushed up under the rug. Everybody's going back and forth. Leave this Kirk thing alone, and let's organize and be productive with our use of our time and our energy so that we can create something where this won't ever happen again. All right. That's all I got to say, y'all. I got to go to the gym. Thank y'all for watching this. Those of you who took the time to watch it, I hope it resonated with you. And this will help somebody keep their job because they are ferreting out voices that are dissenting voices and they are punishing people. They are. I'm telling you, a lot of y'all HR managers and stuff, they are Trump supporters. They love Charlie Kirk. So stay out of Charlie Kirk and work behind the scenes so that we can really build a real movement that creates real change because it's not going to happen behind the keyboard. All right. Love y'all. Thank you again. This is Jerry Gordon, founder and CEO of the Black Wealth Company, where Black Wealth is our business.